Hey, welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there today. Listen, we are hot and heavy. We got a joint practice coming on up for your Miami Dolphins against the Commanders, and then we got a first preseason game. Which, look, here's what I want for the first the second preseason game. All right, a little sprinkle of Tua in the first, just a sprinkle, let me get a little appearance. Tua wants it. We all want it. All right. We don't want to be stuck with, more of the backups. We need a little bit of action. Just a little bit of action. I want to see the tight ends, see what kind of gimmicks they got going on. I saw some more of this video this week of them putting Jonnu Smith, the old reverse, in the backfield. They've been doing that in camp, which has been exciting. Oh, man. I got to be honest with you. I'm very excited about all the tricks. Like Al Gingle was speaking today about this offense, and you know him. He's a McDaniel guy. You know, McDaniel's got his guys, right? Like he's got those ride or die McDaniel people who just like, you know, they're the most in. And this guy's like, we're testing he's like, we are testing the limits. Now I don't know what that means. He could just be he could just be blowing smoke, you know, just saying things. But I didn't even know. I was like, I like that. I like testing the limits. That makes me excited. What does that mean? And I am goosed up to see what this thing is going to be. But I want to see that. See the tight ends action. See what the run game is. I love how Mike McDaniel was enjoying Jalen Wright and his propensity for contact. He dug that. You could tell like already the young back, he's got the respect of the head coach because he's not running around trying to elude people. He's full steam ahead. And I'm going to tell you, there's a brashness to Jalen Wright. You hear his answers. He's a very confident man. You know, a lot of the rookies, they're like little humble. You know, they don't want to do anything. Like Chop Robinson is talking about, Jalen Phillips has to force him to celebrate. He's got to get him out to do the axe thing. This Jalen Wright, he doesn't need any help. You could just tell this guy is gunning and raring to go, and that's exciting. So I want to see that. And then, see how this cornerback battle shapes up in the realm of the reserves and see where everything goes. Cam Smith did speak to reporters today, and he had the great quote and a nod to the great intangibles on the team where he was asked about the toughest cover on the Dolphins team.
Reek and Waddle, but I can't lie. Riv and Berrios, they got some shit in their bag.
I just think that needs to be like a t-shirt. Just you put Riv and Berrios together, they got some shit in their bag. I'm like, yeah. Let's get it going. I love the way that's out there. But anyway, it's one of these things where I'm very excited to see what that is. And then of course we got to see where QB2 is going to go. This has been all the rage this week. I am not team Tannehill and bringing him back in. I honestly think to be honest with you, it's not only one of these decisions I think is lazy. I think it's one of these decisions that's like it's like why don't we go out there and just throw some chum in the water for the local media and be like, Tannehill return? And you get like 9 columns about it. And this is not a shot at anybody. Like, I get the game. It's fine. Not like we didn't do radio segments on it, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite. But I do think this is one of those things where you're just like, hey, people have feelings about this guy. Would you want him back? And I look at the Tannehill experience and I have no feelings. I'm just like, all right. Look, if you want to come here and you want to talk about credentials on the table, Tannehill versus Mike White or Scott Thompson, obviously Ryan Tannehill wins, but this is not a credentials thing. It is knowing the system. It is learning the system. And if you were to talk about a situation like what Minnesota's about to go through, where you're saying, hey, you got to completely scrap the plan and go with this, all right, we can have a talk there. But like just to actually spring into action and go full Matt Moore for some spot duty, nothing. Just does not vibe. It was interesting, though, like the reporting that was around this QB, like they're saying, oh, we can't say who's taking what snaps or how many reps or whatnot in camp, but it does sound like things are starting to sway towards this being Skylar Thompson's backup job, which I don't really think is a bad thing. First of all, Skylar Thompson was a drafted quarterback by this offense. He comes in here. It's his third year in the system. He's started a playoff game before. He's been in this situation. He's had some unfortunate luck where he had to be sprung right into action because like Teddy Bridgewater got taken out of a game by a nefarious concussion spotter. And, you know, I think if Skylar Thompson's to go out there and get the job, I'm not like upset by it. If he passes Mike White in the depth chart and he's the go-to backup guy, just there's nothing about that is daunting to me. I'm like, oh, you know, people are going to be sitting here and questioning, why do we bring in Mike White? Yeah, brought in Mike White last year. He had a little momentum from the Jets last year. Tua played all the games. These guys are kind of even Steven. You know, we're not going to harken back to those Jets days of Mike White. So I don't know, man. I just don't feel the need to rush into this thing and you know, bring back Ryan Tannehill. Like I remember the year. I'll never forget how much people thought the Dolphins weren't going to skip a beat with Jay Cutler, and you know who you were, because you all thought Adam Gase was. I was never an Adam Gase guy, as many of you know, and a lot of that had to do with I was a big Ajayi guy, and he hated Jay Ajayi, hated Jarvis Landry, hated all the best players on his team, and he wanted to go and attack everybody with 5'5" receivers who had no hands. Go figure. And he's actually part of the reason why Le'Veon Bell has become one of my favorite Twitter accounts, because he'll just be ripping Adam Gase from time to time. But everybody swore up and down, oh, Jay Cutler, that's Adam Gase's guy. He's going to come in, comes in fat, loaded with cigarettes, $10 million, and stinks up the joint. So, yeah, I just got no I got no desire for that. As for other older players who we do have to give it to, though, is Odell Beckham Jr., because it seems like he posts on Instagram today, and it seems like he's trying to silence some of the noise because there hasn't been a lot of social media action from OBJ. And Mike McDaniel said today this is not a big concern. You know, he's not rushing to get OBJ back. He's not, you know, dying to have him out there and make this happen. But Odell did put out photos on social media of himself working out, none of them running, but lifting, staying in shape. And he said with the caption, "What seems overwhelming now will be your testimony later on," with a Zen emoji. So if we're going to play boots on the gram, Instagram detective, maybe feeling overwhelmed because he is not physically where he hoped he had been, but maybe this will be part of the story for his season. Plenty of time, not a rush, but it is a little bit. It's a little bit just annoying, you know. It's just annoying because, you know, I'm sure for him it's annoying because you're like, oh, we thought we were gonna get off to a rip-roaring start, and now it's like, we'll see when it happens. All right, well, this was supposed to be one of the wrinkles, right? On the good side of it, though, probably the thing that gave me the goosies the most today was Julian Hill. Julian Hill ended up tight end. Ended up getting the orange jersey today, which I've never heard anybody more honored to get the orange jersey. He was so proud. He was very prideful of his playlist. And he also revealed something today that made me perk up a little bit, because the coaches, John Embry, the tight end coach, he handed him the Kittle keys. And, you know, when Mike McDaniel came here, comes from San Francisco. We know George Kittle, one of the creme de la creme of tight end, right? It's like right under Kelsey is Kittle. You know, at one point neck and neck. But everybody, you know, oh, Kittle this. It's probably one of the reasons, like, Mike Gesicki, this guy's not a tight end, and why it probably never worked out. So Julian Hill has gotten some real rub. You know, he's had some really big plays in camp. He's looked impressive. Durham Smythe, I think he's the one who like really made me like go, huh? Because he was saying most physical player he's ever played with, which I think is a huge compliment coming from Durham Smythe. He's a pretty physical player himself. And then Julian Hill was revealing today that he was told, hey, get to watching the Kittle film. And I was like, whoa, if they're going to do the Kittle thing on him, that means they think he's for real skis.
Yeah, he asked me, watch George Kittle. You know, he's one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. Watch him in his route game, watch him in his run blocking, you know, because they have a very similar offense. You know, he's a very similar play style, similar body. So just watch him, watch how he gets after it, watch how he blocks the ends, watch how he catches the ball. And, you know, he's one of the best yak tight ends in the league. Watch how he, you know, makes a play after the catch. And just really work on my second step in the run game, work on getting off the ball, work on eye discipline when my hands are going, you know, catching the ball. Because a lot of times we always want to get upfield and make a play, you know, focus on catching the ball, jugs, and, you know, all sorts of things. So, and I'm very thankful. A lot of stuff is working out, is panning out.
I'm telling you, man, once they start saying, hey, unlock the Kittle tape, I'm like, oh, that's something right there. I was like, oh, that's like, you know, that's like, you know, they got the guys that they want you to watch the tape. It's like, hey, you watch the Debo tape, you watch the Kittle tape, you know, go watch them. Go watch these guys who are the elite of the elite. Makes me happy, man. I am pretty intrigued about what this guy. So much so, I'm not gonna lie. As a bet, I go to my Hard Rock app. Not an endorsement. I just like it. And I will throw my anytime touchdown bet. Last year, the two guys I went with, River Craycraft, Durham Smythe, did not do well for me. That's why you get fat odds on it. Julian Hill, still looking for his first NFL touchdown. You can bet you can bet that Tobin's going to bet anytime touchdown on Julian Hill basically every week this year. And that may mean that I lose $160 or $170. But I'm going to try. I'm going to be there when Julian Hill gets that anytime touchdown. I'll be there. You'll be there. And once you'll know Tobin is going to be a little bit richer, unless I've already lost a lot of money. It doesn't come till like week 14.